well as it did. It was just the right people at the right time who all shared that passion for the characters.
On every level. The writers, the artists,
the designers,
the
Bruce
actors,
Timm,
the director, Andre Romano. It was just a really unique moment in time. All those people coming together.
Wake up in the morning, right when you wake up and say, what am I doing today? Oh boy, it's a Batman! Oh, it was a wonderful feeling.
Do you remember the day that the fires in LA happened after the riots?
Yeah.
And they didn't cancel the recording session.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Northridge earthquake.
No, the city was on fire.
Yeah.
And I called my agent and I said, we can't have a recording session today. She said, yep, they haven't canceled, they want you there. And the recording studio wasn't on the Warner Brothers lot, it was in Hollywood, near the riot zone. So I'm driving my Volvo, and the smoke is coming towards the car, and every other car on the road is going the other way. I thought, why am I driving in the wrong way?
Because you're Batman.
I remember that day because we were doing the recording, and I lived about a half mile away from Arlene Sorkin, and we would sometimes go to the sessions together. And as we were coming back, I was going to drop her. She had a business meeting later that day, and as we were coming back through Hollywood, we just saw this guy passing in front of us, pushing one shopping cart full of sneakers and pulling another one. And people were running back and forth with property out of different windows. And she just looked at me and said, drive faster.
Yeah, people were comparison looting in those days.
It was a wild day.
From this window and going down.
And every time the door to the studio would open, smoke would waft in. Finally, Andrea said, everybody's got to go home. You got to go home. But it was that kind of loyalty. Everyone, there was no question.
I drove to a session after the Northridge earthquake, and I called Warner Brothers in the morning saying the same thing. They can't be a session today because all of North Hollywood is in pieces.
That was in '94.
Yeah. They said, no, as far as we know, you're still doing it. So when we were doing it in that studio that was like in Silver Lake or something. Yeah. So I said, are you positive? Because I mean, if I'm going to get there at 2, I better leave now. It was like 10:30. I left at 11, got there at 3:15, and when I got there, so it was already an hour and 15 minutes. It took hours. And when I got to the studio, they went, what are you doing here? I said, well, I called. There's a session. Oh, they canceled that hours ago, so thanks a lot. I'm still mad about it. 11 years later, I still hold the grudge.
Get over it. Well, I remember when they had the horrible fire out at Big Rock. It was right around Thanksgiving. And I called you to make sure that you were okay.
Right.
And you had evacuated. And the next day I'm watching the news, and I see you standing in the ruins of a house, and I'm going like, oh, Mark, this collection, everything, you lost everything. And it's like, my poor neighbor here lost everything. Your house was okay, and it skipped over you, but I guess...
We were in the hotel, we figured, well, wait a second, if we get a ride with the news van, we can get past police lines. So that was the trade. They said, okay, you can get a ride in, but my editor said, if your house is burned to the ground, we want footage of you mourning.
So you were mourning the neighbors.
So no, I went and did, and luckily we were spared, but it was a terrible feeling because went back to the hotel and a lot of my neighbors were saying, did our house make it? And if I knew it had, I would say, yeah, you made it. And if I knew that it hadn't, I would say, I don't remember. I mean, I'm not sure. I didn't ever told anybody, yeah, it's burned to the ground.
All right, so the chemistry we're seeing up here clearly lends itself
to disaster, city and disaster, everything.
Yeah, remember that fire and I called you at your house? These are good stories for you guys.
I remember the day.
So what you're saying is there's awesome outtakes to this game, right?
Yes.
There better be. Or pause to destroy them all.
We truncate them, but we're going to
You do, all right.
Yeah.
Now, how did you guys keep things fresh? Because you guys have been doing this for